Is it the manager?
It's just the manager. Do you know what? that is one of the biggest bellends in football, isn't it? So yeah, that must have been my subconscious. What a prat.
Here we go. Welcome to the Pompey Pod, and it is the eve of the season. I'm joined by Dan and Tolly this evening. What we're going to do this evening is we are going to talk about the Sval friendly. We're also then going to look at our championship predictions, top 6, bottom 6, and if Pompey aren't in either of those, where Portsmouth are going to come. And then finally, we'll have a look at the Oxford game this weekend, have a little chat about that and what we think the score will be. But to start off with, we posed a question to the viewers, the audience last week, which was, what do you think Pompey's squad needs? Here's some of the responses we got. Team P, regular contributor to the Pompey Pod. I'm going to summarise these because some of them are a little bit long, but pre-season results have gone well, particularly the fact that we have yet to concede a goal. The jury is out on the new boys until we see them. We don't know. It's difficult to pass judgment, which is fair enough. My one worry is if Bishop gets injured, is Waddingham going to be able to step up? At the moment, not sure. Now, unfortunately, that has come true. Bishop has got injured, so Waddingham has to step up. What do you think on that, Les? Do you think Waddingham starts at the weekend, or do we move it around, put Lang up there? Somebody else, perhaps?
I'm a little bit, I don't know. Given Mousinho's past form on injury reporting and when players come back, I don't think Bishop
he's going to be there.
I don't think he'll be there for Oxford, but I think he'll probably come back quicker than it's been. Yeah, it's been claimed.
Okay.
Let's hope it's not as bad as it.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks would be quite bad, wouldn't it? You're missing 4 games probably in 2 or 3 weeks, which isn't ideal. Similar sort of story.
Striker.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Still need another striker.
Go on.
Yeah,
sorry, go on. Go on. Sorry.
I think I'm only basing my opinion on the Sval game, and I don't think Waddingham. It's harsh because it's one game, but I don't think he was. There were a few balls, especially in the first half, that sort of went up to him that Bishop would hold up or get in front of the defender, get a knockdown to Murphy or something like that, and Waddingham just wasn't the same, which isn't a dig at him. He's just a different type of player, but I just don't think he's got that presence that Bishop has got. So I don't know. I think they're going to have to get someone else in. But it's too late, isn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree. But did you notice during the Sval game, I think Williams was playing quite high. I think they were trying to put balls into the middle for Waddingham, and I think he's that type of player that wants balls put into the middle, whereas Bishop's quite happy with his back to goal, receiving it.
Yeah.
And like you say, Waddingham's not that type of player. I think he's much more of a facing goal type player that thrives off those types of crosses. So I think it's just a change of kind of plan a little bit in terms of how we play.
Yeah, and I still don't think we've seen enough of Waddingham. We didn't see enough of him last year. It was just a few sub appearances, wasn't it? So it's difficult for him to come straight in now and be our striker for the next 2 or 3 games. I think it's a big ask.
Yes, yeah, and he's only a young lad, but what is he, 19, 20?
Yeah, exactly.
I think he'll get chances, but yeah, I'd like to see him kind of use more of a later in the game sub at this stage, rather than be our leading man. Similar sort of comments from Cryson Studios. I think we need a striker. Bishop is the strength and head-on guy we need. A Defoe-style player running onto them. We never play 2 strikers at the same time anyway, so might as well save money. We don't play 2 strikers, but we do kind of play with that number 10. And to be fair, not many teams do play with 2 strikers nowadays, do they? It's very few and far between, especially at this level or above. But you do have someone like Lang or Sekicic who is more of a 10. And I think teams have played with a kind of 10, even when they were 2 strikers. They always had one who was more of a goal scorer and one who was more of a 10 anyway, didn't you? Thinking back into the 90s and early 2000s and things. So it would be nice to have a Defoe-style striker. Not many of them around nowadays, though, is there?
No, not particularly.
Someone who can guarantee you goals. And again, definitely not at this level. And I don't think at our kind of wage and finance bracket would get someone. And then finally from Ed C. Foz, again, he's kind of said about the striker issue if Bishop gets injured, which unfortunately has happened. He also goes on to say about Pack is past it, is using his words, at centre midfield. So therefore, he still feels we need further backup in centre midfield. Kind of fair enough.
Well, this is the other
Glaringly
thing. This is the other thing that surprised me with the friendly. We only saw the Hungarian, 10 minutes to go, and then I forgot his name. Who's the other one? The new
LaRue.
one? LaRue. Only came on with like 2 minutes to go. I didn't really understand. I understand the starting lineup, but then I thought there would be a lot more subs at half time. I thought there'd be a lot more subs with sort of half an hour to go. So I don't think you can't start the two new boys at the weekend. So I don't think we'll see those because we just haven't seen enough of them. Obviously, they've seen them in training, but I was surprised they didn't get longer. Our big signings.
Yeah, I'd have thought half an hour.
Mm.
Let's talk about, actually, before we do talk about the game, audience question for this week is, we're going to talk about our predictions a little bit later. Where do you think Portsmouth will finish in the Championship this season? Nice simple one for you. There you go. Pop your answers in the comments. Yes, we are going up. Record points this season. Record points. How was the game? You two obviously went. I didn't, but was it, by all accounts, a little bit dull, wasn't it?
Do you want to do the first half, Tolly, and I'll do the second?
Yes. There you go.
Right,
move on to the second half then.
Yeah.
First half was pretty uneventful. I did think that there was quite. I don't know what you think, Dan. I thought there was quite a bit of a hole in midfield. I thought that Segicic was playing quite high, and I thought that Swift was playing quite deep, which left Dazelle in the middle, sort of floundering a little bit on his own, not really knowing what to do. Mm-hmm. And at some points, it almost looked as if we had five at the back because Swift was so deep, collecting balls from the defenders.
Oh, really?
But that's fine. It's just players take a while to gel together, don't they? And that's what these friendlies are all about, is trying to work that out. But yeah, the first half was nothing to write home about, apart from the two guys that were sat behind me, who obviously thought it was some kind of FA Cup final.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Take it a bit seriously, did they?
Oh, they were taking it a little bit seriously, yeah.
Wasn't a huge crowd, was it? It was only just under 10,000.
It was,
about 8.5. Would have been a big draw.
Zwolle, massive credit to the Zwolle fans. I think there was less than 300 of them, and they were loud all the way through.
Yeah, they were really good.
They were really good, yeah.
What did you think of Lang?
Out on the South Coast.
I'm not so sure. I mean, again, I'm basing this on one half of football, but I'm not so sure about him on the wing. And I thought he looked a little bit unfit. I don't know whether that's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. And a couple of people said that as well. Not just me. They thought he just didn't look as lively as he did last season, and he didn't look too happy when he came off as well. So I hope I'm not reading too much into it. But
I think it's difficult to tell, isn't it, with these friendlies, because players aren't. They're only playing at 70% capacity because they're not. No one's trying that hard. And I think Lang's one of those players that when he needs to, he gives it 100%. I don't know. I didn't really notice anything like that. I mean, the first half, nobody was really shining, were they? I mean, Murphy put a few decent crosses in. Lang had an effort that went over, and that was pretty much about it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Lang
much
came
better
on.
Second half. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, much better. Over to you,
Decent
then,
goal.
Second half.
Decent goal.
Yes. No, I mean, the second half, I think, on the front foot from the first whistle and sort of dominated possession in their half for most of the half. Not a huge amount of chances, but looking much better going forward. I thought Segicic had a really good half. Murphy did as well. Murphy had a good second half. Bianchini, when he came on, he looked lively as well. So there was a few sort of shining
lights.
Shining lights. Yeah.
Shining stars.
And another clean sheet as well, which we can't be too grumpy about. So the second half was all right and deserved the winner in the end.
Yeah. Okay. Do you reckon that team they started with is going to be the one that starts against Oxford?
Well, I think the back five will be the same. I can't see him changing that at all.
Yep.
I think that you can't play
Farrell
the two
hasn't
new
played much
midfielders
in pre-season, has he? which is quite surprising. He hasn't played a lot at all. So,
I mean, so this is. I know we're not going to talk about the Oxford game in a minute, but this is a little bit of my concern about going into the new season. I was looking forward to it, but after the friendly the other day, I'm just a bit concerned that it's just a bit samey. It's just a bit that first 11 is pretty much the same 11 that we were playing with last season. I'd expect you to have Murphy on the wing. He's not going to play the two new midfielders, so in there it will be probably Dizelle, and it'll either be Pack or Swift, and Segacic in front, maybe Lang on the wing, or Segacic on the wing, or Lang up top. I don't know. So I can't see too many changes. It's not going to be a hugely different lineup to what we put out last season, I don't think, which is a little bit disappointing.
Okay. Well, a couple of days to go. By the time this goes, actually, there'll only be 24 hours to go before the first game. Exciting stuff. Right, we're going to move on to our predictions for this season as championship predictions. We're only going to look at the top 6 and the bottom 6. Now, what we basically did is that we all did our own predictions of the full table, and then we've combined them to get our aggregate top 6 and
how did you
aggregate
do that,
bottom
Mike?
6.
How did you?
What I did, so I gave 1 point for the top team, 2 points for the second team, down to 24, and then added up the points and basically put the team who had the least points at the top, team with the most points at the bottom.
Okay.
There you go. So this is, and you've not seen, you have seen the combined, haven't you? But this is it. We're going to reveal them one by one. So here we go.
Can you play the top of the Pops music?
So our championship predictions top 6. We'll whiz through these, whiz through them. But in 6th place, we've got Norwich City sneaking into the playoffs.
Not me.
Dan didn't put Norwich.
That's you two.
Me and Tolly both put Norwich in the top 6. Dan put Norwich down as low as 9th. Don't fancy Norwich then, Dan.
I'll be honest, Mike. I picked the sort of top 6. Top 3. I did the bottom 3. Yeah. I stuck Pompey somewhere in the middle, and then I just got bored. And all those sort of Middlesbrough, Norwich, West Brom, those teams will just sort of just throw.
The thing is,
I just think Norwich were quite poor. I think the fact that we scored 5 against them away from home last season, it was my reason for putting them in 9th position.
Got a new manager this year, though, Dan. They got Will.
They have, and money.
Liam Manning. Yeah. Liam Manning, who did well at Bristol City. He's done well everywhere he's been, actually.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are tipping them to do well.
They have spent a lot of money as well, haven't they? They obviously got a lot of money in for Sands and what's his face, the guy who joined Marseille. I think they got about 30 million quid between the two of those. Yeah. Jeremy, what's his name? Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Goss. Jeremy Goss.
Jeremy Goss. Anyway, we've got Norwich in at 6th. So me and Tolly both put them in top 6. So I do think Manning will do a decent job. It does depend on who they've brought in, whether they're good enough. But in 5th, we've got Birmingham City combined. We've got Birmingham. So Dan, again, you didn't put Birmingham in the top 6 at all. You put them in at 8th. Tolly put him 5th. I put him in at 6th. Again, don't fancy big spending Birmingham then.
I think they'll be up there, but I just think it's the jump, isn't it? Coming back up from League One, expected to do well. Again, they've got a lot of money, so they will be up there. But I just put them just outside.
I think I was a bit conservative putting them in 6th because they have spent a lot of money. They already had a championship squad pretty much, didn't they? And they've spent more already this season. I think they could go straight up. But they're certainly being in around top 6 for me. Next one, we got Sheffield United. Tolly, you put these. Oh, no, you didn't. You put them in the top 4. You put them 4th. I put them 3rd, and you put them 5th. Tolly, thoughts on Sheffield United? Obviously close last season.
Just one of those perennial do well but not quite teams, aren't they?
Yeah, they're always there, aren't they?
A lot of change this year as well. Obviously, changing Chris Wilder. I think they had new owners in at some stage last season. I think they're a shoe-in for the playoffs, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
For sure. Now, in 3rd, we have Southampton. Now, you both put them in at 3rd. I put them 4th. There's no denying it. They're going to be in and around that sort of... They're going to be in contention, aren't they? Unfortunately, they are going to be up there.
I keep holding on to the fact that Luton were relegated twice on the bounce.
Yep.
So let's hope we're all massively wrong.
And to be fair, Luton were much better in the Premier League than what Southampton were last season. They were dross, weren't they? So, you'd never know. One thing with Southampton is that goalkeeping. Goalkeeper's a bit of a concern for them at the moment because they've got Bazunu, but apparently Bazunu is a bit out of form. So Alex McCarthy is looking like going to be their first choice goalkeeper going into it. So what's he about? 48?
Yeah, something like that.
Can't be far off. But yeah, they've got a decent squad. And Cameron Archer is actually the favourite to be top scorer next season with the bookies at the moment. So they've got a lot of firepower that's good at this level. Brereton Diaz and Armstrong. So
Brereton Diaz. No, I wasn't. I was going to say move on to second place. But you've mentioned Brereton Diaz. He's janky, isn't he? He is awful. He is an awful player. I'm looking forward to seeing him because he is.
So in second, we've got Leicester City. Now, there is one thing to caveat here. So I put Leicester second, Dan put Leicester second, Tolly, you put them top. Now, I did do that I completely forgot that they have a high chance of losing points this season.
Yeah.
Around about 15 is what's being rumoured. So if they do lose 15 points, they could be, well, they're not going to come second, are they? They're going to have a hell of a season to come second. But they do have a new manager there's the former QPR manager who did an okay job with them. Got a great squad, haven't they?
I saw today Vardy could be off to Sunderland.
Yeah, I think Vardy's already left Leicester, isn't he?
Has he gone?
He's end of contract. So
no, I mean, no, sorry, I knew he was going, but today I heard Sunderland, so I don't know whether he's actually done it or not.
Mike, where did you see that 15-point potential deduction come from? That's huge.
Oh, it's just been rumoured around kind of various podcasts and things. Some people are talking about they could get 2 lots of points deductions. Don't know why that is, but they've been pretty bad financially for the last couple of years, haven't they? They escaped it last season due to a technicality, but I think it could bite them in the backside this season. And then let's move on to finally our top. There's no surprise here, is there?
Pompey.
It's going to be Ipswich Town. We've got down. So all of us had Ipswich in our top 2. I had them top, Dan had them top, and Tolly, you had them second. I think it's quite clear they did very well in the league a couple of seasons ago, didn't they? They've got a much better squad now than they had 2 years ago. Kieran McKenna is probably the best manager in the league. I can't see much beyond them winning it, to be fair. And Connor Chaplin is actually kind of something like 10th to be top scorer as well with the bookies, which is interesting. George Hurst.
No real surprises in that top 6. Sorry, go on.
No. George Hurst is second to be top scorer, yeah. Now that Delap has gone. So there you go. That's our top 6. What do you think of that? Would you squeeze Portsmouth in there somewhere? Maybe not. Just for the record, just outside the top 6, we had Coventry City in 7th place. Now let's look at the bottom 6.
Are you going to reveal where we've got Pompey, or you just
Yeah. Yes, yeah, we will do. Yeah, we will do. Are they in the bottom 6? We will see.
I was going to say it's coming up in this next bit, Dan.
Yeah.
In 19th, so we look at the teams who are just going to avoid relegation according to us. In 19th, we've got Hull City. That's very generous, I think. So both of you two had them outside of the bottom 3. I had them third bottom. I fear for Hull this season. They've got all sorts of problems going on with they're not allowed to sign players at the moment, although they still are somehow. They've got serious financial issues going on. So I don't know. I think they'll struggle. But they do still have some good players, which they signed last season. They've changed their manager again as well, and their manager is unknown at this level. He's never been in the UK in managing or playing. So bit of a question mark for me, but you've got them safe. So there you go. Next, move on.
It's all just a little bit of a lottery down there, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
You've got 4, 5, 6 teams that are all going to be just as shit as each other.
Mm-hmm.
Swansea City is probably a bit of an interesting one because I think Swansea are one of those teams who could come 22nd, but they could also come 7th. Do you know what I mean? They're
not
kind
dissimilar to us, are they?
No, exactly. They've done okay transfer wise, haven't they? But again, it's one of those teams, aren't they? Dan, you actually had them to go down in 22nd.
Oh, did I? I think there's a reason for that, isn't there?
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yep.
21st, just avoiding the drop is Oxford United. You, Tolly, had them at bottom of the table, Oxford, and me and Dan had them both in 21st, just to just to avoid it. So we've got them combined as just avoiding. Oxford are interesting, I think, because they probably exceeded expectations, a little bit like us last year. They've not really signed a lot over the summer, and they've lost, which I think is quite a big loss, because whenever I've seen him play, I think he's looked good. Ruben Rodriguez has gone to Vitória in Brazil. He may not be consistent, but whenever I've seen him play, he's always looked quite decent in that midfield area. So, I don't know, players they've got in, again, they seem to have a similar sort of transfer policy to us. They've brought in players from overseas and lower leagues or on loan. So, you never know how they could be. But anyway, Oxford 21st. And these are the teams we've got to go down. Firstly, Charlton Athletic. Now, you two fancy this more than me. I put them as 20th. Dan, you have them bottom. And Tolly 22nd. Thoughts? Is it the manager?
It's just a big. The manager. Do you know what? that is one of the biggest bell ends in football, isn't it? So yeah, that must have been my subconscious. What a prat. Yeah. Anyway, right. So the reason why I put them bottom is just because it's a big jump, isn't it? It's a big jump going from League One to Championship. They've never really, although in League One they've sort of been around the playoffs ish. Mm-hmm. They've never really been up there, have they, fighting for the title? So I don't know. I just think it's a big jump, and we will see.
Yeah, they came up via the playoffs, didn't they? And they have spent quite a bit of money, but I think they've overspent a little bit in some areas. But but we'll see. I don't know. Although obviously their manager is very much one of those managers who's, if he's your manager, you probably think he's all right, but everybody else will hate him because he's an absolute massive bellend. But and a former scummer as well, of course. But he is actually also does do really well at some teams, doesn't he? And he did really well at Charlton last year, I think. So I don't know, but we'll see. Charlton next is Preston North End. Me and Tolly both had these at 23rd. Dan, you had them just to stay up in 20th. I think if you look at Preston North End and midway through last season, you think they're safe. They're kind of solid mid-table side. And then they fell apart towards the end of the season and they only just stayed up. So I think if that continues, they've bought a couple of players in, but they've lost a couple of players. They've lost that Reece, that big centre forward they had. So I fear for them. I think they could be going down. Thoughts, gents? Any thoughts? Or should we just move on?
Yeah, just again, one of those teams that, like you say, fell apart a bit at the end of last season. I don't see them picking up any form going into the new season, really.
Okay, and then I don't think there's any surprises who we've got bottom of the league. It's Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday, who have a chairman or an owner who's slowly tearing them apart. One of their stands won't even be open for this season because it's got health and safety issues. They've got players who are going on strike or just handing their notice in. Some players handed their notice in last week, which is amazing. They've only got 10 what would be called senior players, i.e. players over the age of 20, I think it is, in their squad available to be picked. And just massive issues. They're not allowed to sign any players until 2027 as things stand because of transfer embargo. So I'd be amazed if Sheffield Wednesday stay up.
Not good, is it? Not good.
No, it's a shame because they're obviously a big club and they've just been driven into the ground a little bit like we were many years ago, but kind of in a slightly different way.
Yeah. Very difficult for them to stay up.
Yeah. The good thing is we don't have Portsmouth in there, so that's good. Do you know where we had Portsmouth? Tolly put Portsmouth in 10th. I had 14th. Dan, you had 15th. So combined, we got Portsmouth in 14th. Slight improvement on last season.
Yeah.
Take that, lads.
Yeah, I think staying up is the priority again, isn't it? We're not going to. I can't see us pushing for playoffs. It would be lovely, but I think just consolidate, stay up, hopefully actually buy some players next season. And then
I might have had a bit of a rush of blood to the head, but I was just thinking of last season when we started off atrociously, and then the second half of the season where we were in playoff form. So I'm just kind of thinking, touch wood, injuries aside, if we have a better or improved injury record than we did last year, it's got to be worth at least a couple of places, isn't it? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you'd think. Yeah, Yeah.
And I heard a stat the other day, and I forget exactly what it is, but I think it was from the time Colby Bishop returned to the end of the season. If the season had started the day Bishop returned, we'd have finished 8th on points, which is pretty impressive. Basically we had that first period where we took time to actually adapt, didn't we? Once we got that press in going, apart from that, obviously a couple of teams learned how to kind of clear the press, but when it was working, it worked really, really well, didn't it? But yeah, I think you don't know. You never know. I think the key thing is we have pretty much a fit squad, which is a bit of a luxury, isn't it? Hopefully that will continue for a while. And just having a back four, consistent back four, will be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
How many
get the away form sorted as well, or a bit better at least.
What do you think, Pompey fans? Do you think it will come higher than 14th? Do you think we're in a relegation battle? We will see, but let us know in the comments. Okay, gents, final thing for today. We start the season against Oxford. How do you think it's going to go? We won there last year, 2-0.
Didn't we get 6 points off Oxford last season?
No,
I think we drew at home.
Was it a draw at home? Was it?
What? 1-1.
It's 0-0, wasn't it? I think it might have been 1-1. I have to look it up now. I thought it was 0-0.
It was 1. Yeah, it was 1-1. I think. Rings a bell.
Okay.
It'll be a draw.
Yeah.
It's usually a draw, isn't it? Usually a draw against Oxford. I think we will either go there and we'll just be, this is just a massive cop out, but I think we'll be superb and win 3-0 and we'll be like, this is great. We've turned a corner. We're mental. Or it'll just be, as Solly said, a draw. And it'll just be, oh, okay, this again. This same team. Yeah. I hope not. I really do, but I just don't think there's enough new faces in our starting 11.
I think the key is to get that midfield sorted out, and I think it'll take a few games to do that.
I think so.
It'll be. I think he'll start with the same team as he started against Zwolle, but I think it'll take at least 4 or 5, maybe even 6 games until we've got that midfield pairing consistent.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I agree.
And Oxford's one of Oxford's strengths is their midfield. That Brannigan's a quality player, isn't he, at this level? Probably their best player. So, I don't know. I'm going to go for a hopeful victory, I think, just based on the fact that we did take 4 points from them last year. You were right, by the way. It was 1-1. Omani scored that. Remember that little...
Oh, yeah, that's right. The header, wasn't
it? He scored at the weekend as well, didn't he?
Did he?
Where is he now? No.
Wigan.
Yeah, Wigan. He's
Wigan.
Kilmarnock, Aberdeen.
So, and just to add to that, did you hear the comments that Yengi was getting after his Aberdeen?
No.
Strange enough, it was completely
good.
opposite. Yengi and Sadie were getting complete opposite, weren't they?
Yengi Sadie, they loved him, didn't they?
They absolutely love Sadie. It's kind of, they love him to pieces.
Yeah, good.
In fact, I kind of chuckled, but somebody put a post out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it said, I meant to put this post out on Sunday, but Christian Sadie held it up.
Nice. It was very good.
Yeah, good lad. But yeah, Yengi apparently had a bit of a stinker, didn't he?
Yeah, apparently so.
Still, there you go. Anything else on the Oxford game? So you're both going for a draw. I'm going to go for a close win. I'm going to say 2-1. 2-1 win.
Yep. Just excited that it's back.
Yes, absolutely. It is back from this weekend. 3 o'clock kickoff. In fact, the championship starts tomorrow night, doesn't it? Is it Wrexham again? Oh, Birmingham. Is it Birmingham Ipswich?
Yeah,
it's Wrexham.
I was going to say Wrexham.
Birmingham Ipswich tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought Wrexham would have been the first team.
Birmingham Ipswich. That's quite a decent game to start the.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Very good. So, we are back. We'll be back weekly from here on in. If you want to subscribe to the channel, why not? Why not come along and subscribe? If you've enjoyed this podcast, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and kind of maybe even put a review. If you're listening on an audio device such as Spotify, an audio channel, what do you call it? An app? But no. Surprisingly enough, the demographic of our audience is the majority of the people are between 45 and 65. Would you believe that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't believe that. But if you're between 45 and 65 and you've enjoyed this podcast, why not subscribe and like?
Well, we're all between 45 and 65, so
yeah,
there you
some
go.
of us nearer the latter.
Yeah.
But why not like, subscribe, get involved, pop some comments down there. We will mention you. And don't forget our question: where do you think Pompey will finish this season? We've been the Pompey Pod. We are back. Oxford United this weekend. Player Pompey. Goodbye.
Cheers.
Bye.